my name is Sina and welcome to my Genshin channel. I just finished editing my previous video and not gonna lie, I'm a little bit tired. But there's no time to stop because Genshin just updated the moon page, if you remember still. And we see the fake sky now! The trinity of moon goddesses who once steered the primordial celestial sphere and evolved love and passion into the very heart of the world have long since faded into the shadows of time. And we see one moon beyond the fake sky. This isn't really a massive reveal because we kinda knew this already. Actually, it was Skirk who told us that while passing Tibet, she has seen those 3 moons and 2 of them were like shattered. However, this is the first one that we're seeing that's intact. As you know, 2 of the 3 moon sisters have got destroyed and only one, potentially this one here, stands still. We have seen at least one of the shattered ones already in the Netlinar conquest. And my theory is that the moon fragments that are gonna be falling in the next patch is also gonna be one of the shattered ones. I don't think we're gonna be destroying any moons, especially not the one we're seeing because, I mean, that is fake. That is on the fake sky. And also the little icons are now red. They're pulsing red. Besides that, everything else is the same on this page. However, what I want to talk about is the last page because now we have Nod-Krai concept overview. And what is this? What if we go to the new page? It is just a brand new site. Columbina in the back. I mean, we know she's gonna be the main character in this new Song of the Valkyrie Moon Patch series. Obviously, there is the video if you haven't seen it, but I made a video about this and I just finished it like right now. So you should watch this. It's a very fun video. But we knew that part. So let's move on to the unknown, which is the blue and red circlet. It kind of looks like chromatic distortion or whatever it's called. But this is gonna be a theme throughout the whole Nod-Krai concept overview. So I don't know if that has anything more to do with that. I kind of like that style. Because now we're moving on to Nod-Krai's map. Yes, we are seeing the map and we can unlock it one by one. First of all, what is the first part we are unlocking? That is the Pale Star, I can already tell. The Paha Isle, where the Fatui assemble. So this thing, I think it's called the Pale Star. And there's literally a moon-like element hanging on the bottom. But it's the Paha Isle. Paha in Finnish means evil. Harbingers, evil incorporated. And we also have a little moon here. It seems like they're working with like some cable cars. I'm gonna be honest, I love this style. It's like very rusty. When I first seen some of the Nod-Krai trailers, I was a little bit worried that, oh no, we're gonna get into like this super sci-fi theme now. Which personally, I'm not a huge fan of. Seeing this rustic cable car something, I'm super happy. Just keep this steampunk theme going. I love it. Wait, what are these? Do you see like the little golden lines? No, it's back here. Very suspicious. Since Nod-Krai is right below Chesnya, I would assume it's gonna be north of the Fatui's base where Chesnya is. This is the moon envelope land. The moonlit land where those thrown in by various powers wage bitter wars without end. And we can check out each place to know more about what's happening there. Under the ancient moonlight, the Pale Star banner casts a shadow as vast as solemn as the Northern Lands. The Northern Lands being the whole Nod-Krai. In the newly established Kuvaki experimental design borough, countless mechanisms churn and whir at all hours of night and day. What rebellious design does the Forge Hammer's dull thunder conceal? Even their old soldiers stand in ignorance, blind as envil. As now, we have some people, Columbina and Piero and Sandrone. Dottor is supposed to be here as well, I'm not sure where he is. Nonetheless, so we see some blueprints. The forces of Chesnya enroach like the winter, and the Fatui surgeons rise afloat the flags, the harbingers. What is it that they seek? They seek Columbina, they seek this girl. The idol of the new moon, I mean, that's Columbina, carved by the Seans of the far north. Yeah, the Frost Moon Seans, they are the ones who are still believing in the moon, still believing in Columbina. Now Columbina lies caged in a prison of steel. Wait, that's Columbina right there. What is she doing in a prison? This is not technically a statue of 7, as Nod-Krai people don't believe in the 7, but this is very similar because the Frost Moon Seans in the image of the moon goddess, which I guess is Columbina then confirmed, in the image of her, they also made similar kind of waypoints across Nod-Krai, but the Fatui captured one. Do they wish to harness its power, or simply display Chesnya's unparalleled dominance? They're here to do no good. As moving on to the next region, what do we get here? A lot of places. And a lot of this golden sauce again. This is one of the places we have seen this one actually whenever it was Piero who was, going on his little walk. Blue Ember Lake. Famous sister of the normal Ember. The style once again is very rusty. Reminds me of Poisson in Fountain also a little bit. Give me more. Thank you, Genshin. So we don't know much about the Blue Ember Lake. This is not part of the main factions. But as for Nasha Town, this is gonna be the place for the Voyage Guild. I've talked about this beforehand. Just in a previous video, we have seen there is some levitating stuff. But even down on the bottom, there has to be some levitating technology. This is gonna be where all the merchants live. I think the developer said this is supposed to be something like a zone from League of Legends. A lot of neon signs, which this is probably my favorite place so far. I have a very specific liking in architecture. This whole scrappy, but at the same time like very neon-y and even like modern elements. I mean, there is a reason that Stray is one of my favorite games ever. There is a reason I'm obsessed with the Kowloon Vault City and the history around that. I cannot help myself. I just love this architecture. And also we see writing. I mean, I have decoded a lot of the writings that we have gotten in the preview video. Because unlike Netland, Nod-Krai will have a writing system. Potentially the same as with Chesnia, but there's definitely a new one here. No matter where you're from, no matter where you stand in society, and no matter how much Mura you have to your name. People of Nod-Krai, take down your shackles and seize the means of production! This is unparadised, okay? For those whose heart are filled with hope, riches, lies, schemes, and sincere search beneath the same quill of racial slaughter. Eat the rich! Eat the rich! Pantalona, get out of here. You gotta be the emergency food this time around. As Nod-Krai's most prosperous trading port, the first lesson newcomers learn here is always the same. Keep your Mura close to your chest. Okay, I like this place already. This is gonna be a favorite one. I need to translate this so much. Using our previous knowledge from the last time we see this language, we can very obviously say the AS and NA. I mean, this just looks like an M so much. It has to be an M, maybe. So could it be Machina? You wish to buy a weapon? Absolutely. This here is Nod-Krai's second best forge. Wait, why second best, you ask? Well, if you meet Aino, I'm sure it'll be pretty clear. Oh, so this is not Aino's shop. This is someone else's. And they're like, I mean, Aino is better. What can I say? You can buy anything you want here, as long as you can pay the price. I hear you're looking for some extraordinary treasure? Then you've come to the right person. My friends and helpers in these lands are numerous indeed. So what is this place supposed to be? Let's just start with what we know. And if you remember, we had like these O's. The O's were somewhat weird. Hem something go Chamber of Commerce! We did it, guys! But it also means our last one is not Machina, but this is not H. Then it just has to be Z. I mean, that's looking like an epsilon. I mean, this is pronounced S in a lot of Eastern European languages. I don't know if that would be like that. Yeah, I just cannot think anything else. Oh wait, this is another one. That's an S. We have seen this before, and this is a U. Nuts is literally just like cut off from here, and that's what you're seeing here as well. Yeah, there's little nuts and nuts. And by nuts and nuts, I would assume they mean the nut, like with a little mechanic bolt, and also peanuts. No other nuts. Depending what kind of bar establishment it is, I'm gonna move on. Ed Astra Abiska. Want to learn more about the latest commissions? She's not even finishing. I mean, to be fair, I'm always just like brrrr. I'm never listening to that. I mean, understandable. If you really want something worth the risk, you'll need a little luck on your side. Thank you, Catherine. Catherine is a puppet. You know who else has like a very similar kind of headband? Okay, they actually might have some connection. They probably have some connection. And then a kid comes up to us. Psst. Just a little warning, the grown-ups here are sneaky and love ripping out passing adventurers. Oh, that's actually Eastern Europe. Every single big city is a tourist trap. Here's home. You wanna know if kids can be trusted? Well, you'll just have to find out, won't you? Amazing, amazing. I love this place so much. But there's another place called Lempo Isle. I think this was also featured in the Shades video behind Piero. But besides that, we don't really got much information. Coming at you from the future to tell you that this is actually the place of the Krumkake shop. Yes, this was featured in the new Inafa anime, so this is where Aino is, and this is the birthplace of Inafa herself. We got one more picture of some neon signs just injected into my veins. I love it. And to my knowledge, that's it for this part of the map. One more place to unlock, which is the Hiisi Island. That is the place of the Frost Museums. I know that one. Yeah, those are the little deers. There's even a little timed event in the background. We have seen them countless times, all the trailers. And this monument that you're seeing here as well, the little brightening star in the middle, that's like used like in every single one of them so far. But the Hiisi Island, what do we know about them? Remnants of the moonlit world. Remnants. Okay, so potentially this is where one of the moons have already fallen. Okay, let's learn about this place as well. The remnants of the far north still dwell among the ashen woods and tundras. Their golden city has long since turned to ash. The golden city, also known as Hyperborea, that's where they used to live, but it was struck down by the heavenly principles because the first angel, in case you don't know the story, there was a voyager from outside Tibet who came here. A lot of people think that this voyager might have been a descender, but we don't really have any kind of confirmation. Nonetheless, this voyager kind of corrupted the first angel. And the first angel, now having the freedom, knowing about the heavenly principles and the secrets of Tibet, went against the heavenly principles, and the heavenly principles did not like this too much. So they struck down the celestial nails, Hyperborea was no more, and the angels became Sealies, their distant ancestral homeland consumed by the court of creation. Yet these proud descendants light primordial lanterns against the pitch darkness of the withering tide, spinning distant ancient hymns praying for the new moon's protection. And they're still praying for the new moon. They still wanna get the new moon. And who is this new moon would be? I'm gonna see it right here. Why is every single description of the new moon is like Columbina? The Frost Museums were the ones who built these statues across Nod-Krai, which obviously resembles the seven, but they are not praying for the seven. They're not praying for Celestia. They want their own moon, which is supposed to be Columbina, it seems like. And this side looks like when Columbina is free. Not like the Fatui version, because like that was somehow in a cage, potentially harvesting the energy that these statues present. And in the background, I think we can also see one of the Kulai. It's probably gonna be Luna Kulai, Solar Kulai, something like that. But I cannot wait to collect those again. 5 centuries, generations of moon catchers have followed the commandments left by the first leader of the Frost Museums, guiding their devotees to uphold benevolence and faith, striving to avoid conflict with outsiders at all costs. Yet with the arrival of the Fatui, the seals long had tranquility, and their endless supplication to the goddess may not give way to creeping twilight gloom. They were just here in the Hiisi Island. They were like, hey, this is fine, we just have Columbina with ourselves, I would assume. But the Fatui came here with the Pal Star Edict, and now they wanna get Columbina. Somehow, I don't think Columbina is okay with this. From all the things we have seen, it looks like that she's happy. Nonetheless, as we know, the Frost Museums and the Fatui gonna be against each other. Let's do some hacking. So this is one of the files being loaded in for the website, just around the assets. So if you look at here closely, I mean, we see the Hiisi Island one, we see the Pale Star Edict, you know, there's also the Blue Amber Lake, and whoa, wait a second. What is that? I mean, my eyes are not the greatest, but it's nowhere to be found. And very suspiciously, there is still a place that's foggy. While we don't really know anything from just this logo, there are still some other factions that it could be applying for. Maybe the Lightkeepers, though I'm not sure why they would be hidden. Maybe the Snowland Fae, there are some theories that Elise might have something to do with that, so it could be that's why it's not revealed just now. And also just could be the place where Columbina is right now. That mysterious video feed at the end of the Shades video, we don't really know where that is either. It could mean a lot of things, but one thing is sure, it's a very weird place. It's a little bit circular, there are flying objects, and there are 2 pieces in the middle, which honestly reminds me of the Dragon Quest. And even though we know that the Frost Museums are not here but in a Hiisi Island, still it resembles the moon. It looks very similar to the image we've seen on the Song of the Valky Moon event, so maybe it's one of their other places. And when is it gonna be released? We all know, because Genshin already said that they're gonna have a big reveal at Gamescom this year in Cologne, which I'm gonna be participating in live. I'm gonna be in Cologne for it, so I could not be more excited to experience it in person. First of all, on August 19th, there's another Gamescom opening night. That's when the big reveal likely gonna be happening, and that's when we're likely gonna be seeing this new region having some video on the stage. And after August 20, that's when I'm gonna be at Nod-Krai, at least in Cologne. A little bit of part of that is gonna be Nod-Krai, because Genshin said they're gonna be having exclusive content, so I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna analyze everything in person. The presence of the abyss grows. The pitch dark withering tide whispers amidst the silence of frigid nights, awaiting its moment to rend the ever-thinning veil and devour those frail souls whole. In the shadows where rules cannot reach, Tibet's rules not for them. Rules, once again quoting marks, we have seen rules, heavenly principles, rules, Tibet's own rules. And what about Nod-Krai with Columbina in the background? We have seen her way more clearly this time around, and okay, she has to be Hydro. In the age when the 7 lights of the firmament had not yet shone upon the land, this was before the fake sky, before her principles arrived, the now nameless ruler, so before that's Nibelung, the now nameless ruler raised the heavenly moons to govern the cyclical tides of the world in their stead. So Nibelung was the one who made the heavenly moons. The remnants that failed to become a moon slumbered in the vast sea, only to become at least the refugee of the exiles of the far north. Wait a second, so there was supposed to be another moon, and after it failed to become a moon, the remnants of that fell into the land, and that's what's supposed to be the Hiisi Islands now. Neither the withering tide of darkness, which is the abyss, nor the mad monk, I'm gonna talk about that soon, who spoke in strange tongues could break this land's spine. Yet now, beneath the new moon, calamity stirs once more to drown the world in its maw. What is this mad monk thing? Are there monks now who are mad? Where did we heard about this mad monk? Well, that is from the new artifact set, the Long Night's Oath, namely talking about, in a bid to seize the power left behind by the heavenly moons, a mad monk who spoke in a strange tongues presented a treacherous plot to the Tsar of all Fae. That is the first cryo-archon and the first cryo-archon who was ruling basically the fairies. They're also one of the factions in Nod-Krai called the Snowland Fae. And from the other artifact set in the same domain, we found out that during when we still had Hyperborea, that these people, the Snowland Fae, turning to forbidden methods, artisans forged countless face spirits upon the bones of giant beasts. So the creation of them is not necessarily in the favor of the heavenly principles. So that's why, yet in the end, such wild illusions and ambitions were brought down from the heavens, and with them fell deep blue crystal spikes. Those are the celestial nails. Alice Klee could be there from here, who knows? So you can kind of see what the developers meant, that Nod-Krai is gonna be basically this like massive melting pot. Right after there is nothing else, just a developer update, which by the way, if you're curious, I made a video about that. Went through everything they talked about here, but obviously ever since then we have a bunch more information. And we also got some wallpapers, so that's pretty good. Alongside with some primer gems. But that is it from me for today. More videos are absolutely coming, and I'm sorry, I know I was a little bit late with this one. Honestly, I was not feeling super well and I was already behind in my previous video, which please check out after this because I think that's pretty fun. But as for now, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like, and if you want to see more content like this, then make sure to subscribe. I was on my Genshin channel, and see you in the next one. Bye bye!